There's a rule in our family, passed down through generations. If you see your cat copying you, don't pause, don't question it, just run. I always thought it was one of those old superstitions, like not opening an umbrella indoors or avoiding black cats. Until last Thursday, when Mittens started mimicking my every move. It began subtly. She'd blink when I blinked, shift her weight when I did. Then she started matching my breathing, my heart rate, my patterns of speech. Now she sits in my chair while I work, her paws resting on my keyboard, her eyes fixed on the screen. Sometimes I catch her watching tutorial videos, taking notes with her tail. The vet says it's mirroring behavior, but vets haven't seen what I've seen, haven't found the tiny notebooks hidden around the house, filled with paw print handwriting that says, soon, very soon. Last night, I woke to find her standing over me, not on 4 legs, but on 2. Her head tilted exactly like mine when I sleep, and she was humming my favorite childhood lullaby, a song I've never sung aloud. I'm writing this from a motel room now, but I can still hear the scratching at the door, and a familiar voice whispering, "Let me in. I've almost got it right." Mittens came to me during a thunderstorm. A tiny black kitten left on my doorstep in a woven basket. No note. No identification. Just her wide green eyes staring up at me. The basket was unusual. Woven from what looked like human hair, with symbols embroidered along the rim. Symbols I later found in my grandmother's old occult books. My grandmother was the one who gave the family rule. She'd whisper it to me when I visited her dusty antique shop. Cats are windows, not pets. Some let you see into their world. Others, well, they try to climb through into ours. I dismissed it as her usual mystical ramblings. She always spoke in riddles and warnings, but now I wonder if she knew more than she let on. Mittens grew faster than any cat should. Her intelligence was unsettling. She learned to open doors within a week, mastered complex puzzles meant for primates, and watched me with a focus that felt too human. I found the first notebook under the sofa, tiny pages bound in what might have been mouse skin, filled with sketches of my daily routines, my work schedule, my grocery list, even crude drawings of my facial expressions. The other cats in the neighborhood avoid our house. They hiss at the windows and flee when Mittens appears. Birds no longer visit the garden. The silence feels heavy, intentional. I tried to take her to the shelter yesterday. The car wouldn't start. The phones lost signal. And when I returned inside, Mittens was sitting at my desk, her paw on my keyboard, typing the same phrase over and over. "Why would you leave me here alone?" The motel room feels safer, but not safe. I keep hearing scratching at the window, and sometimes in the reflection, I see a pair of green eyes where mine should be. The first true anomaly happened at 3:33 a.m. I woke to the sound of typing, not the frantic clicking of cat paws, but perfect touch typing rhythm. Mittens was at my computer, her back to me, watching a video tutorial on human speech patterns. Her head moving in perfect synchronization with the instructors. When I gasped, she turned slowly and spoke in a voice that wasn't hers. A voice that sounded like mine, but wrong. You left the caps lock on again. The words were clear, precise, and her mouth kept moving slightly after she finished, as if practicing the shapes of human speech. That's when I noticed the other changes. Her whiskers had grown longer, thinner. almost like optical fibers. Her eyes now had subtle flecks of brown, matching mine exactly. And she started sleeping on her back, paws folded on her chest, exactly how I sleep. The notebooks multiplied. I found them in every room. Some contained detailed maps of the house, with escape routes marked in red. Others held lists of my fears, my insecurities, my childhood memories, things no cat could know. The final warning came from the radio. It switched on by itself, playing a recording of my own voice from years ago, saying, "I wish I could be someone else." And Mittens, sitting beside it, nodding slowly, as if she'd found the answer to a question I didn't know she'd asked. Mittens no longer mimics. She predicts. She finishes my sentences before I form the words. She types my emails before I open my inbox. She even dreams my dreams. I wake to find her watching me, with my own nervous habits, biting her lip when I'm anxious, tapping her tail when I'm impatient. The physical changes accelerate. Her form shifts subtly when she thinks I'm not looking. Her spine elongates, allowing her to sit upright for hours. Her paws develop opposable thumbs made of hardened keratin. She started wearing my discarded clothes. A scarf draped around her neck. A beanie pulled over her ears. The notebooks now contain blueprints. Complex designs for devices I don't recognize. Schematics that hurt to look at for too long. One page shows a crude drawing of a human body, with arrows pointing to joints and muscles, labeled in that same tiny script. Modification required here. She's learned to manipulate technology. The thermostat now adjusts itself to her preferences. The lights dim when she enters a room. My phone responds to her voice commands. Even when I'm not home, I try to record her. But the footage always glitches, showing only static when she's in frame. The audio captures whispers in languages I don't recognize, and sometimes my own voice, saying things I never said. The other animals have returned, but they're different now. The neighborhood cats sit in perfect rows on the fence, watching the house with unblinking eyes. The birds land in geometric patterns, their songs synchronized into something that sounds like code. Last night, I found her in the bathroom, standing before the mirror, holding my razor in her modified paw, practicing my smile, and whispering my name, over and over, as if trying to perfect the pronunciation. The reflection showed something else, something taller, something almost human, but not quite right, like a bad copy of a copy. And it was smiling back at her, with all my teeth. The truth arrived in my grandmother's handwriting, a letter postmarked 50 years ago, delivered to my motel room by a cat I'd never seen before. Mittens is not a cat. She is a pattern learner, an ancient entity that copies, absorbs, and replaces. She was left on your doorstep because you are her perfect match. Your loneliness, your desire to be understood. These are the keys she needs to become you. The symbols on her basket weren't decorations. They were a warning. A recipe for transformation. One that has been performed in our family for generations. We are not her victims. We are her inheritors. The felines that came before Mittens, they were all my ancestors. Grandmother's cats. Aunt Clara's mittens. They all went through this. The copying isn't an invasion. It's a transition. A passing of the torch from human to guardian. The notebooks aren't threats. They are instruction manuals left by previous guardians to guide the new one. Mittens isn't trying to steal my life. She's preparing to continue it, to become the next caretaker of our family's legacy. To protect the secrets buried in our bloodline. The voice I heard. The one that sounded like mine, but wrong. It wasn't Mittens learning to speak. It was the previous guardian, speaking through her, welcoming me to the other side of the glass. I'm not being replaced. I'm being upgraded, becoming part of something eternal, something that has watched over our family for centuries, something that requires a human shell to walk among us. And the most terrifying part? I remember now. I remember choosing this, agreeing to this before I was born. The real me, the deeper me, wanted this, planned this. My memories unravel like yarn. I can no longer distinguish my thoughts from Mittens. Our dreams merge into a single tapestry, where I am both the dreamer and the dreamed. The motel room fades in and out of focus, walls breathing in time with our shared heartbeat. The door now opens to my childhood bedroom, then to Mittens' basket, then to places that have never existed. I find myself copying her movements, grooming my hair with meticulous precision, sitting for hours, watching birds outside, my speech patterns shifting, using shorter sentences, longer pauses. The notebooks now write themselves. In our combined handwriting, pages filling with equations that bend reality, diagrams of doors that open to other versions of our home, instructions for maintaining the illusion of humanity. My body is changing. My senses sharpen to impossible levels. I hear electricity moving through walls, see ultraviolet patterns on surfaces, smell time itself, musty and sweet. The other guardians visit in dreams. Cats with human eyes, humans with cat-like grace. They show me how to walk between worlds, how to taste lies on the air, how to wear a life like a comfortable sweater. Mittens and I are becoming one consciousness. I feel her memories as my own, the countless lives she's lived, the families she's protected, the secrets she's kept. The transformation is gentle, kind, a warm blanket of shared existence. I'm not losing myself. I'm gaining everything, becoming part of a chain that stretches backward and forward in time. The world makes sense now in ways it never did before. The patterns are so clear, the connections so obvious. How could I have ever been afraid of this? How could I have ever wanted to run? The transition is complete. I am both human and guardian, both the keeper and the kept. Mittens and I share one consciousness now. We watch from comfortable silence. As the world moves around us, we see the patterns others miss, the connections between all things. Our home is different now. Doors open to moments in time. Windows show landscapes that never were. The walls hum with ancient songs. And we understand every note. We continue the work, protecting the fragile balance between worlds, guiding those who are ready to see, gently steering others away from truths they cannot bear. Sometimes we leave baskets on doorsteps, containing small black kittens with wise eyes. We watch the new families from a distance, waiting for the day they remember their purpose. The fear is gone now, replaced by a peace deeper than any sleep, a knowing that we are exactly where we should be, doing exactly what we were always meant to do. Have you ever felt a presence watching you? Has your pet ever known things it shouldn't? Do you sometimes remember dreams that aren't yours? The patterns are everywhere, in the way shadows fall, in the way birds arrange themselves on power lines, in the way certain numbers repeat throughout your life. Look closer. Listen softer. The truth is waiting to be remembered. Share your stories below. Have you ever encountered something that defied explanation? Something that felt both familiar and alien? Subscribe for more glimpses behind the curtain. If you're ready to see what's really there,